In early 1910, a group of businessmen organized and called themselves the Lake Zurich Commercial Club. They were led by President Emil Fick, a store owner who was the treasurer and then the mayor of Lake Zurich in the early 1900s. The photos here include several of the founding men who were owners of saloons, the general store, a barber shop, and the Zurich Hotel, to name a few. Early accomplishments of this group included the spreading of crushed stone on Route 12 in front of what used to be known as the Hickory Hill Animal Hospital because that stretch of road was impossible for local and Chicago tourist traffic. During the World War I years, the commercial club men were instrumental in establishing the State Bank of Lake Zurich. The initial stockholders and officers included Henry Stiles, Emil Frank, Henry Berghoff, Fred Hoff, and John Fink. It is interesting to note that even back then, they created a brochure that included things to do and points of interest in an effort to drive tourists to the area. On June 20th, 1930, a charter for the Lake Zurich Chamber of Commerce was recommended and accepted by the Illinois Chamber of Commerce. Unfortunately, little is documented on the years leading to 1954 when the chamber was reorganized by E.A. Lusk, who was the president at that time. On March 28, 1962, an article was written about the Chamber's Sell Lake Zurich campaign, which today we know as Shop Local. In this article in 1962, it states that the board met on a Thursday for its monthly meeting. Apparently, we have not let that tradition go, as our board today still meets on a Thursday. It also stated that the board adopted a budget of a mere $1,375. Additionally, the superintendent of D95 at that time brought before the board the tax referendum and the need to increase the tax limit by 21 cents per hundred assessed valuation, which the board endorsed. In March of 1964, they decided to hire a business manager, probably similar to what our executive director position is, for which they would pay $500 per year. By 1965, the chamber had grown to 52 members, and then by the early 1970s, it had doubled to 105 members. For several years, the chamber maintained a flagship office at the corner of Old Rand Road and Main Street, and was responsible for securing decorations for Christmas in the downtown. In 1969, the chamber headed the raising of funds for the village's first ambulance and did the same for a second ambulance in 1971. Also in 1971, the chamber was instrumental in creating a 40-car parking lot in the center of town. Also in 1969, it was documented that the chamber held its first ribbon-cutting ceremony. In 1970, the chamber was instrumental in getting traffic lights at major intersections, for securing a no parking zone along the seawall, now called the Promenade, and for cooperating through contributions for weed and pollution control on the lake. In 1986, the chamber was excited to start the first of business after hours, as you can see here in this article published in the Daily Herald. And in 1990, President Jack Reck and the Chamber's Ways and Means Committee started to sell spots for $25 each on the game of Lake Zurich, similar to a monopoly board. Even the community could buy space with their kids' names on them. As we stroll down History Lane, we celebrate the Chamber's 94th anniversary in this year of 2024, well, 114th anniversary if you start from the Lake Zurich Commercial Club. Today, we have documentation that names every board member since 1977. That's 46 years of very specific history. We want to thank the individuals, both men and women, that gave their time and left us a legacy to continue to build upon.